It was a really impactful moment to me and possibly what kind of pushed me down this path of recognizing that I don't have to try to be the white tech bro. Nothing wrong with them. We need them, but that's not who I am.
Aloha. We hear this all the time from women in business, especially in tech. I'm great at listening. I'm collaborative. I care deeply about people. But is that what's holding me back? Today, we're flipping that thinking on its head and showing you how those exact traits might be the reason your business grows faster, your team stays longer, and your sales conversations actually convert.
Yes, we are. Today, we're chatting with Alison French. She helps small businesses grow revenue through better alignment and human connection. And we're talking about how feminine strengths become a competitive advantage in tech. This is going to
I
be so
get
good.
so excited when I get really excited when I get to have another tech talk with another female. Just it makes my soul so happy. It's a little
No.
happy dances. You know
So
me. And
we
yeah.
need to we have to prep our listening audience for this one because
Yes, I
listen,
know.
Selena is who we call our techie bestie, right? That's like her business nickname. Anna
Right.
is the redheaded stepchild that does what Selena tells her to do, but
No.
does not love tech in the same ways. But I do love this conversation because I
Yes.
really feel like those characteristics we're talking about, empathy
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
being able to utilize that as a business tool gets me
Yeah.
very excited.
I do want to say though, Anna, even though we jokingly say that you are the redheaded stepchild, it is so far from the truth. What I love most is that Anna always gives it a go, and then she most of the time loves it. And then she's all up in it teaching people. But without further ado, it's not about me and Anna. Let's bring in
No,
Allison
we're
because
gonna bring
we want to
Allison in.
talk story with her. Yes.
No.
Ta-da! Allison, welcome to the show. Thank you for being my favorite kind
Oh,
of conversation to
yeah,
have today.
absolutely excited to have the chat.
I
Okay, before we start, we really love to do like a selfie. So I'm going to just put us in this position so that we just want to accept. You can do whatever feels right for you,
Yes.
Allison. There's no right or wrong. So on three, your imaginary cameraman will take our photo. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. See, it was
trying to get more ridiculous with each guest. So we'll see how
yeah.
I
yours
love it.
comes out there.
Yes. No. Okay, let's jump into our focus question because we want to make sure we ask the
Yeah,
right things today.
definitely. Okay.
Yes.
So listen, our listening audience is male and female, but today we're really hyper focusing a little bit on the female side of things. And our question today is how can women intentionally use empathy, active listening, and collaboration as practical tools in product design, team leadership, and sales?
You ready for me to dive in?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're ready.
Big question, Allison.
Like doing this like a
Oh my
10-second
gosh.
countdown.
Yes. No, it's great. Well, thank you. I'm so excited to have this conversation. And I'll admit, I'm 44, and I think I only just figured this out in the past 6 months, maybe. So I'm really excited to have a very open conversation. I think first and foremost is that women need to remember it is a superpower. And so I think I spent majority of my career in tech, healthcare space, so very male dominated, and I just was fitting in. I was doing the things, I was listening to the coaches and the courses and the everyones that speak to the broader audience. And then there was a side of me that I just knew who I was on the inside, but I didn't necessarily bring that into my work or didn't think it was a superpower because I just assumed everyone was like this. And so only once I got more intentional in the clients I took and more intentional in the people that I worked with that I realized, wait a second, this is a huge difference between the way I'm showing up on a daily basis and the way I used to show up on a daily basis. And I remember Sarah Blakely did a presentation or a talk at Forbes Women this year, and she talked about your feminine energy, and it was like, yes, like it was a really impactful moment to me and possibly what kind of pushed me down this path of recognizing that I don't have to try to be the white tech bro. Nothing wrong with them. We need them, but that's not who I am. And so I am a mom of three. And my husband is now retired from the Marine Corps, but military spouse is a huge part of my life for so long. And trying to pretend I was something that I wasn't was just creating undue stress for me and I wasn't showing up authentically. And so I think really slowing down for people to take inventory of it's a superpower and what is it for you? Is it empathy? Is it better at listening? Is it caring? I think for me, it's I actually care about my clients and I care about the outcomes and I want to help people. And yes, it's still a business. Like I still have a family I need to support, but reframing the lens from less about the metrics on the dashboard and more about am I helping? Am I serving?
Mm.
Because you can work your way through a playbook or you can do the best practices and you can have a client that you're talking to and you're explaining like this is why we have to do this. But if you're not hearing the resistance and you're not seeing that there's a problem and it might not even be the topic at hand, it could be something else. Quite often I work with a lot of startups and quite often it's that they're out of cash. Like they're not saying it on the call, but you can just tell something's off. And if you don't use that spidey sense that I think us women are gifted with, like you're gonna miss opportunities to actually help someone. I'll never forget, I had a female founder team that I was working with, and you could just tell something was off, and it was exactly that. They had a shorter runway of cash than they really should have invested in this program, and so it was a pivot. How can we pivot this? What can I do to help? Can I help you fundraise? Like, how can we shift it? But instead of just saying, "Okay, great, this isn't a fit, we're done," or "I'm holding you to your contract, and we're gonna finish out this terms based on exactly what the scope of work was," it wouldn't have served anyone. I wouldn't have felt good about it. They obviously were in a situation they weren't feeling good about it. And so I think it's recognizing these moments are what makes us who we are and to start embracing it so you have those better opportunities and you feel better about the work you're doing.
Allison, I want to say I'm so obsessed with your answer right now because I feel it. There was an Instagram, and we talked about this, Anna, before, but it was a speaker and talked about the female energy and that there is nothing like it. And
Yep.
when you bring female energy in, it really changes the dynamics. And it's exactly what you're saying. And when you come in this kind of way, you are so your eyes are so open to the little opportunities to really serve even more than expected.
Yeah. And I like you said serve because I think that's half of it. I don't think it's people pleasing. And I think that's like the far side of the feminine energy that can be mistaken is we're trying to people please, we're trying to be good girls, we're trying to do these roles, but that doesn't serve anyone. It doesn't serve yourself and like authentically, it's not serving your customers, like it's just not serving. And so really shifting that kind of spidey sense that the feminine energy brings to better show up for yourself, your clients, your family, like I think it's a superpower. And I sincerely believe, kind of call it our generation is just now discovering, and so I hope that I have 2 little ones, 2 little girls, and so I'm hoping that it carries on to them. Like, I hope they don't have to wait till 40s to figure
Yeah.
this out.
One of the conversations I love that's happening right now is talking about, they call what we're talking about soft skills, right?
Yeah,
Like they call them soft skills. And I love the shift into soft skills are actually very powerful power skills.
right.
And not everyone has the capacity to have them. Not every woman has them.
Yeah,
Some men are able to have these. So it's not necessarily gender specific in that sense, but it absolutely, there is this because of the roles women place themselves in naturally, some that we develop these things, I
mhm,
think. And to be able to stop and say, hey, this is something I'm really good at, and how can I turn and apply it to my business becomes a very powerful, unique edge that you can bring to the table that not every company can have. And I think that mindset shift of saying, oh, I got to bury this piece of me down, and instead saying, you know what? No, I'm going to enhance it. I'm going to bring it to the table. I'm going to let it shine. Like you were talking about with your client, where you were going to do everything you could to help him out until the conversation was finally over.
yep,
There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that I think probably built a level of loyalty to you way more so than you going, when you get the money, give me a call. We can
absolutely,
pick this up later, right?
yep.
Yeah. Okay. I do have a couple extra questions for you. I wanted to talk about some of what those soft skills are and what you're seeing. So, What do you think is a mindset shift that women need to have in order to help them start to realize, hey, I have this superpower.
Mm,
I need to start bringing it to the table?
it's been a journey trying to figure that out. One thing that helped me, a bit AI techie hack here, but for a long time I was using Claude. Then I switched to ChatGPT. So take your pick. It doesn't really matter. Start asking it what you're bringing to the table. And if you can pull in your meeting transcripts, so I do that a lot with clients that are in fundraisers. I'm constantly dumping meeting transcripts with founders in because I'm trying to process what they're talking and how they're doing, but they're hearing my questions. They're also hearing what I'm saying and how I'm helping prod the conversation along and try to pull out those threads. And so that was probably the coolest part for me was to actually get an objective view, so to speak, as a computer. Ask it what it thinks that I'm bringing. And only then did I realize this gift I have of I can listen to sales calls and I know where the problem is. I don't know why. I can just be like, yeah, you don't have product market fit, or you have problem with pricing, or they don't understand what you're actually selling. Like I can just do that. I just assumed everyone that's in kind of the revenue space can do that. I didn't know. And I think this is a curse of being a military spouse because I've worked from home for so long that, yes, I've had some jobs that allowed me to go into an office, but generally speaking, I'm not in the corporate marketing cog where you're seeing where you sit and how you converse in the meeting rooms. And so you lose track of this is actually a superpower that I should be taking advantage of and helping more people. And instead, you just think that, oh, yeah, this is just what everyone does.
Yeah.
You guys, that was a great AI hack that Allison just, I'm so excited. I've used my meeting notes, but never in that way. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what I'm going to do right after this recording, Allison. And then I'm going to, I don't know,
Tell
message you
me,
something like, oh
please
my
do.
gosh, I never thought. Okay, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I know that's not what this is about. But again, it's about, she just gave a tech tip, you guys, that I absolutely love. Okay, Anna, sorry I interrupted you, but I was so excited to tell her how I love that.
No, I also loved that little tech tip. I think that kind of stuff it's about self-awareness, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's this piece of like when you are a small business owner, entrepreneur, you have to be self-aware about what your strengths are and where you can shine. You have to be able to set yourself apart in those ways. So I love that you just dropped yet another way to have that the AI kind of version of, you know what, this is what I see you doing really well. And then you can take that and analyze it and piece it together and
Right.
think about it however, which way you want.
Yeah.
But
Because you're,
especially if you say, show me my soft skills that are shining or
yes.
that kind of a thing.
But I think it's just like sometimes, like you just said, Allison, right? Most of the time we are working from home. Sometimes we don't have a bestie like Anna to say, tell me my strengths,
Yep.
or tell me what I do. And it's almost nice to have somebody listening to you and saying, hey, this is what we're getting from that, whether you want to take it or not. And it's like actively listening on yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Well,
helping you grow.
and I know it's not part of the topic, but
No, it's
pull
not.
that into like your proposals and how
Yes.
can I productize this? Like, how can
Oh
I
gosh.
figure out a way to add value to people and bring this into the work I do? Because that's where I get like stuck sometimes is it's like, I have all these ways I want to help, but how do you actually turn that into something that's revenue generating for your own business? And so those two combined, I think has been really great for me because it made me realize, yeah, I have a fractional CMO CRO lens. I have like
Yeah.
startup techie, like I have these pockets. And
Yeah.
so like, how do I monetize those and
Yeah.
still and feel better about the work I'm doing? Because I think that's a big
know.
part of this phase of my life is like
Yeah.
I had a client that helps people with oncologists. So they're helping cancer patients
Oh,
not
that.
fall through the cracks of their treatment care. And I'm like,
Yeah.
as a marketer, I'd love this because I never thought I'd be
Right.
smart enough to be a doctor and help people, but to be able to help them create their product market fit using my skills I didn't even know were my skills is cool. It was like it really enlightened me in a way that I hadn't been able to
Mhm.
find in my career so far.
And I think that's that edge that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like you were able to realize something about yourself that you're like, wait, not everybody has this
Yeah.
ability and this
Yeah.
capability. And not everybody, even if they have it, knows how to apply it to business. And I think that's like
Yeah.
the bigger piece of it, right? I
Yeah.
can recognize I am a good active listener, but if I don't know how to apply that to a client call or a discovery call with a new
Yeah.
client or in a networking environment, if I don't know how to apply that well, it's not
Yeah.
going to do me much good. So I love
Yeah.
that you're like bringing this kind of to the forefront and saying, hey, don't hide those things that make you shine. If you're good at this, figure out how to use it in your business capacity. That's
Yeah. No, I love that. Okay, look, we're getting on because there's so many things that Allison is saying that a lot of them can be keep, ditch, and tries. So we want to
yeah.
ask her
Oh,
what
yeah.
she's planned for her keep, ditch, try. But Allison, this is my funny extra bougie way. So we have a little video that shows before you can tell us all the fabulous
Okay.
things. So here we go.
Okay.
That's it. Turn a
You
little.
could try.
So
I may start just making it a
I know.
big like game show entrance like this, Selena. I love it.
know. No, it will eventually. The next one, Allison, because we're definitely having you back. So
Yeah, I love that.
tell everybody in what we're talking about today, what should they definitely keep if they're trying to
Yep.
decide on how
Yeah.
to eat?
Yep. Embracing the feminine energy. I would
Yeah.
say keep trying to uncover your superpowers in this space because I think that's probably something us women do not do very well is recognizing our super. And then the answer I had prepped for this was basically reminding people to keep solving problems for your customers. And so somewhere in between the two,
Yeah.
you will always have a business, you will always have revenue if you are truly
Mhm.
solving a problem for your customer.
Ooh, that's
So
like a
good.
classic marketing 101 awesome
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
And you
No.
got to feel confident in being able to do that. I love
Yep.
that. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
So here we've got our listening audience, and especially speaking to women today, we love the people handing us permission to just get something rid of off of our plates. So now we're
Yes.
going to ask you
Yeah.
to tell us,
Yeah.
what would you say to everyone out there listening right now? What would you say? Ditch it, get it out of
Um,
your life, let it
yeah.
go.
Procrastinating. Have you guys heard of this term?
No.
Learning, procrastination via learning. So you're buying a course or you're taking or you're reading
Oh
a
my
book and you're like, I'm going to do that when. Just do it. Just stop. Stop procrastinating via learning. And I'm like guilty as this is my arch
Allison
enemy.
is
It's my
my
personal.
true Allison, you are my yes. Oh my
Yes.
gosh,
Me
but I
too.
never
Spirits. Yes.
yes. I'm like, can I send you every course that I have with every
YouTube.
intention on being
You,
better? And
yes.
we can take okay. Oh guys,
And YouTube, you see my
yes.
playlist, my podcasts, like a lot of it. I mean, just at some point in time, like I think there's something about that. Like once again, the good girl or being perfect. It's like we got to get it
No.
perfect. No, just
Right.
do it because that's what the men. I know you have male podcast listeners, so I
Oh
love you
yeah.
guys too. But I will openly
Yeah.
say there's not enough representation in the female side, so I'll just say,
Yes.
just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it scared, but
Well,
just do it.
Do it.
I did
Yeah.
you make
Allison's
up
on
the
your
term
side. Yeah.
procrastinating? Did you make that up?
I've heard a bunch of phrases. Like there's another version like
Yeah.
educrastination, but I like
Yeah.
procrastinating
No.
because I
I
can say
do
it.
too. I've never heard that. So I'm gonna say that's Allison's word.
Oh,
Like that
thanks.
is hers.
It
So
I'm
is.
gonna I'm
yeah,
gonna dive
that's going on
into
your
those
t-shirt,
because that's
Allison.
It's
brilliant.
my
Yeah.
kryptonite.
Just say
That's
no to
so
procrastinating. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
And then it's like Allison French,
yeah.
like episode 154. That's what's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Daily mantra.
Okay.
So what do? I'm like, I'm a procrastinator.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
You
I just take courses.
100%. I would just keep going to school if someone would pay me to do it. Like I'd get multiple
See?
PhDs. I've got
Oh
no problem doing that.
man.
I just need to make money.
Oh my
Oh
gosh,
gosh, you guys, I'm in
hilarious.
love with Allison, guys, like even more.
I was like, I know
Okay.
all the marketers in the house.
Tell people what they should try. Like just dip their toe in, don't be scared, and just give it a go.
I'm going to say it's related to growing revenue, but it's going to be much more specific and just pick out 5 people that you would know for sure would benefit from your product or service. You're going to email them, you're going to follow them on LinkedIn, and you're going to find a way to authentically cultivate a relationship. It doesn't mean selling, but I think it's so easy to be like, as a marketer, especially, you're like, I'm going to launch this perfect campaign or when I get my demand gen engine and blah, blah, blah. No, just pick 5 people and once a week, pick 5 people and just say, I'm going to talk to them because I think in small business, it's so easy to get comfortable. It's so easy to be content with inbound leads. And the reality is You can scale this tactic once you see what's working. There's so many other tools like between Clay and Signals and all these things. Like if you figure out what it is that's getting people to reply and express an interest in your business, you can scale that exponentially. But what happens is people put all this time and energy into the perfect campaign or the perfect agency, or I don't have the budget for ad spend or whatever it may be. And it's no, just pick 5 people, introduce yourself authentically in an email. Don't just copy paste, like research them, look at their company, see where they went to school, like whatever you can do in a truly unique way to try to connect with them. Like I always do female founders, or I do a lot of veteran-owned businesses. Like find ways that you can connect and introduce yourself and offer to help, offer to serve. Take that from Alex Fermosi. You don't have to look for payment right away, and you'll be amazed at how it will transform your business.
Okay. You just threw down a serious challenge for some of our listeners out there.
Yeah, I
And you were
love
like,
it.
contact 5 people, and I was already like,
I was just saying, DM me on LinkedIn if you need a motivational person in your inbox when you're doing this. It was cringy. It makes me sweaty.
Yeah.
But if you really believe that you can help solve their problem, like it's easier to push through it. But like seriously, find me on LinkedIn, DM me, be like, I'm doing it scared, and I coach you along. I got you. Like it's worth it long term.
Yeah.
If we tie it back to the conversation we just had too, dig into those soft skills that are power skills that you have and say, hey, I've noticed this on in your posts or in what you're sharing, and just wanted you to know this about what I do and how I think I can help you with that. Or you know what I'm saying? Like you can tie it back to the very conversation we were having to build your business in that way. I love that. So good.
No, that's like my favorite. It's relationship building is what that.
Yeah.
Man, you guys. All right. That was you guys. That was that was an awesome keep ditch try. Seriously, all of them were fantastic. So this is like that takeaway. Like if you could tell our listeners, hey, what's one takeaway from today's conversation that they should have, that they should go away with? What would you say, Allison?
Find your like feminine superpower. Figure out what it is. Don't assume you're just like everyone else. Because I think that's been my curse for 20 years, is that I was just one of many. And we all have something special we can bring to the table.
100%. Allison, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
We are okay. So unfortunately, we're at the end of our show, but I want you to make sure to tell everyone where they can come and find you. What's the best location to get you?
I am mostly on LinkedIn right now. I think it's /French Alison, and it's Allison with 1 L. And then my website is joinlto.com. So that's my business.
Okay.
Love it.
So we, as everybody knows, Anna and Selena always puts this information. We do it at annaandselena.com/blog. You will find the show notes for our conversation with Allison. There will be all the links on where to find her website, all that kind of stuff. And also my deep dive into procrastinating learning will be on that page.
Yes.
We're just going to be adding something there because I'm super interested in that conversation.
Oh my gosh. I'm legit gonna screenshot my like Notion dashboard that has all these courses and send it to her and be like, ask me how many of these are completed.
Oh, right there with you. And podcasts.
Yes. For sure.
100%.
Oh my gosh.
Allison, thank you so much for being on
my
our
pleasure. I'm
show.
excited.
Yeah, it has been such a joy to have you on and talk about that little feminine edge that I think sometimes we forget we have or feel like we can't let it shine. So I love that the conversation today is just another way of saying you have permission to be your awesome self. And guess what? It can help your business grow, which is really the big deal, right?
Yes.
So, all right. Thank you so much for being on our show. And to everyone else, we will see you on the next Keep Bitch Try podcast.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, Allison.
Bye, guys.